If you're watching this, you're already at the pro level. You know how to ask ChatGPT or Claude to read an article for you or watch a YouTube video using the crawl text action. You also know how to ask it to turn it into a thread, a tweet, a newsletter, or whatever it is that you're after using the run prompt chain action. Now you need the missing piece, which allows you to take all the content you've created, move them outside of the chats into a table-like interface. This can be Google Sheets, this can be Airtable, this can be anything that you want it to be. I'll show you 2 to 3 different methods in order of worst and most expensive to best and most sustainable and least expensive over time. Now, the first method is Zapier. It is expensive, but it works. So let me show you how that works. First, you want to head over to zapier.com and sign up. Once you've signed up, you will land in a place like this. Over here, look for the plus icon or the create button. Click on that and click on Zaps. Now, once you're here, remember that all automations essentially have 2 moving parts, or 2 large moving parts. One is a trigger, second is the action. A trigger means what will start this automation, and an action is what will this automation do. Let me repeat. A trigger is what will start this automation, and an action is what will this automation do, right? Now, click on trigger, and over here you want to type in Webhook. There's nothing to worry about. Don't get afraid. It's very straightforward. Even if you've not used no code, low code, or code before, I will walk you through the process, right? Once you click the webhook trigger, over here, choose the trigger event. Select the first one, catch hook. Make sure not to select the second one, catch raw hook. That's a very common mistake. So first one, catch hook. Press continue. Leave this one empty. Don't touch it. Press continue. And over here, you'll get a link. Make sure to copy this link. Now, very briefly, I want to tell you what a webhook means in this context. A webhook serves as a way for ChatGPT or Claude to send information outside to any external system, right? That can be Google Sheets, that can be Airtable, that can be Notion, that can be anything, right? In this case, the webhook is waiting for Claude or ChatGPT, is listening for Claude or ChatGPT to send any notification, right? This can be content, this can be anything else, this can be whatever you want. As soon as it receives that request, that hello or that content, it then takes an action. That action can be added to a Google Sheet, added to an Airtable, added to Notion, added to whatever you like. That is the basic understanding of what a webhook is, and that's really what's important for now. So you want to take this webhook URL and press copy, click on update profile. Over here, press Control F or Command F and type content_webhook_URL, look for the field and paste it, and then press update. Very important, you will need to upload a profile picture, your name, and add your phone number, your real one, so that you have a nice dashboard experience over here in the second Brain OS. And only then can you click update. So click update, and we're good to go. Now from here, you want to head to Claude, and then start a new chat and say, hey, can you send a name and description to my webhook? Do make sure that before you press enter, that this tool is indeed enabled. It probably is because we did it earlier, but just to be on the safe side. And you can select whatever model. All of them work because it's straightforward. In fact, let me show you that will work with a slightly less intelligent model by just asking it to do so. Any random values will do. And now it sent that data. It sent the name Alex Martinez. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And something about their job description, whatever it was. Now we want to head here and we can press test trigger and we'll see that this data will have been received. So Alex Martinez and whatever it is, right? Let's do just one more. Excellent. One more. And I'll show you how that works in real time by staying over here. And we can just press find new records, and in a moment's time, this second record should appear. It's here. Maya Chen, an enthusiastic data scientist who loves uncovering insights from complex data sets, etc., etc. Okay. Now here you can connect it to virtually any app that you like. So I'm going to go for Google Sheets to keep things really simple, because if you are using Zapier, I'm going to assume most likely that you want to use it with Google Sheets. Don't worry. The dedicated Airtable one is coming up, and then the Notion one is last, right? And so it gets better because we won't be using Zapier, because Zapier for Airtable or Google, it gets better, and I'm saving them for later because we won't be using Zapier for Airtable and we won't be using Zapier for Notion either. So for Airtable, I will show you the Airtable's built-in solution, and for Notion, I'll give you the Notion second brainless integration, which is just way better and way more cost-effective than all the options. Anyway, we're just going to click over here and we're going to type create spreadsheet row, and we're going to press sign in to account. We're going to have to allow Zapier to connect to our Google Sheets. So you're going to have to ask it, allow all of these. See, edit, create, and delete all of your Google Drive files. See, edit, create, delete all of your Google spreadsheets. Yes, I know that can be scary, but it is what it is, and those are the permissions that it needs to work with your Google Sheets. Then from here, you want to go into Google Sheets. So we'll say docs.google.com, or was it drive.google.com? Actually, let's just go to Drive. And then from there, we can probably create a Google Sheet. Yeah, so I think I can just press here and press blank spreadsheet, new, and here and blank spreadsheet, right? Let's just close this. And over here, I can just add two columns called name and description. And we can just call this spreadsheet content. I think that's good to go. And over here, I'll come back, press continue. And now it's going to ask me to pick my Google Drive, then pick the spreadsheet. In this case, I'm picking this one called content. This is a demo account, so it only has one spreadsheet anyway, so we're lucky that way. And over here, there's this thing called sheets within a spreadsheet, so you can just pick that. It's called sheet 1, so I'm just going to pick sheet 1 over here. Sheet 1, use time zone setup on spreadsheets, format date values. That's not necessary. And it's automatically pick the columns from that spreadsheet, so I can just add the name and I can just add the description, right? And we are good to go, right? So we're just going to test step, and here we go. We have the name and description from that latest record over here, right? We can do one more test. This time we'll pick the first record, which had Alex Martinez. So we'll press record A or request A, continue. And this time I just have to press continue, continue, because everything is set up, it's working, continue, continue, and retest step. And so you'll see that Alex Martinez has also landed in this Google Sheet. And so over here, honestly, it's very straightforward. Sure, you can look at tutorials for whatever tool or app that you want to use. Don't worry about Airtable or Notion, that's coming up in this video. For all the other tools, it's a fairly similar process, and I think you'll learn more just by playing with Zapier should you want to. The problem with Zapier, as I mentioned earlier, is that it's expensive. So on the free plan, you will get 100 automations, 100 tasks to be clear. And the other problem with Zapier is that if you want more, then you will have to pay a monthly subscription, and there's no pay-as-you-go plan. So there's no like, if I pay this, if I use this much, I pay this much. There is something called an overage in Zapier. So what that means is that if you go beyond your monthly plan, I think the $20 or $25 plan gives you 750 tasks. So if you go beyond that, then they charge you on a per task basis for whatever you've gone, and that's at a bit more, at an even pricier rate. So just something to keep in mind. The next method uses Airtable. And so you can send data directly from Claude or ChatGPT into Airtable. You don't need a middleman like Zapier or Make.com or anything in the middle, because Airtable provides a webhook feature by itself. The only con is that Airtable requires you to be on a monthly paid plan. So you need to be on minimum at the Teams plan, which comes monthly to $24, and that gives you 25,000 automations. I will say this, if you're going to use Zapier, it's way better to use Airtable instead, because it's way more cost effective. Zapier will only give you 750 automations or 750 tasks for around about the same price. I think that's 25, I'm not sure. But this is way more competitive. The only con is that it requires a bit more setup. I've done the hard work and I'll show you how to go about it. So first you want to do is make sure to head into a base in Airtable, right? And if you don't know what a base is, essentially what happens in Airtable is the first thing at the top level, you have workspaces. And inside workspaces, you create a base. And a base is essentially a collection of tables. It's short for database, right? So here I've created a dummy database called Monetization Lab. And here what I'm going to do is create a new table, and I'm going to call it content, right? The first thing you want to do in this new table is delete all the fields. And keep in mind, you won't be able to delete the first field. So what you want to do is rename it. And this is the best practice in terms of using Airtable. Rename it to ID and select auto number over here. Sorry, auto number. Yeah. Once you're done, you can clear all of these dummy records and then add a name field. So you want to type in long text over here and just name this field to name. And then you want to type in long text again and add a description field. We're done with that. Now, the hard work I've done for you. So you want to head over to automations, and over here at the bottom under create, you want to press create automation. Right? As soon as you do, this will appear. And then you want to click this rectangular box which says add trigger and go over here when webhook is received. And voila, you have a webhook URL just the same way you found in Zapier. Then you want to head over to your second BrainOS dashboard and profile. And over here, you want to make sure to paste your brand new webhook URL. Again, the field was content_webhook_URL. You want to paste that and press update. Once you've made this update, you can head to Claude. We can start a new chat and say, can you send a dummy name and description to my webhook? I'm just going to choose a slightly less intelligent model and press search. Same, press send, same as before. And then you want to head back to Airtable and you'll see that this data has arrived. So it was John Smith and whatever, right? Now you want to press add advanced logic or action. Over here, you want to press run script. And once you're here, you want to take the script that I have given you over here. Where is it? Here it is. Yes. And you want to copy all of this. Just press the copy button over here. You want to go here and just erase whatever's there and paste it. Now, the next steps are really important. First, you want to click over here and create and add an input variable. The first input variable you're going to add is called table, and make sure to put in the table name that you just created. So we created content, and I'm going to add the table name content here because the table we created was called content, right? Now you want to add a name field over here. And so you want to press the add input variable button again and type name, but this time you'll press plus. And over here, you will click into the data, press body, data, name, right? And over here, you will go and type in description. You'll add another input variable, click the plus icon again, body, data, description, right? And now you can press test. Everything should run smoothly because I've done all the hard work for you. It will create whatever records you send to it, right? Then you want to press finish editing. You can rename this to something like from Claude or AI to content workflow, whatever you want to call it, right? And just switch it on. Now let's test this. Let's check the data. If the data has arrived, the data has indeed arrived. I don't know if there's a way to show the full value of the column over here in Airtable by wrapping it, but the easier general way is just expand cell and see that everything is over here, software engineer with 5 years experience, etc., etc., etc. And now we can head to Claude. Let me just do a split screen with Claude actually. And let me show you the magic of this. Where is Claude? Here it is. And let's do a split screen with Claude. On the left, Airtable on the right. Excuse me. Great. Now create 10 records. Now send 10 records one by one. Right. Now what it's going to do, and let me expand the view over here in Airtable, is that it will keep sending the data to Airtable, right? And you can see that on the right, our content starts appearing inside of Airtable. As I mentioned, this is a different way of doing things, but it works really well. It works really well because it's all sorted out. The main thing over here was the script. But keep in mind, if you want to go for this method, you will have to pay $4 on the monthly plan, $20 on the annual plan. If you are going to go for it, start with the monthly, obviously, and then upgrade to the annual plan should you want to.